Chickens channel. My name is Maria, and you can find me on Instagram as ninja.chickens. You can find me on Ravelry as Ninja Chickens, and you can find all the show notes and information about Ninja Chickens on the website, which is ninjachickens.org. Welcome, welcome back. Welcome if you're a first-time viewer. It's really nice to have you here. I've changed my setup again a little bit. I know some of you love seeing the podcasting when I'm outside, but it has been either pouring rain or bitter cold, and I'm enjoying spending time in my new little studio. So we're here in a new arrangement. Things are getting so close. I still have a few big projects that need to happen. We can't put the surface on part of the kitchen, little mini kitchen counter until one of the windows goes in, and the windows just arrived. They were just shipped, so we need to pick them up and install them. So there's a lot of things, but I'm here. I'm inside. I'm working in here every day. We have a little fire going, and it feels really, really good. So I'm hoping to put some of the Cabin Rehab at the end of this video, and it's going to be pretty quick as far as the knitting that I'm doing and what I've been up to. So I hope you enjoy that at the end if you are interested in seeing what we've been up to. This is a crafty podcast, mostly related to knitting and fiber and some natural dyeing. I want to start today by talking about some giveaways. Most of you know that there's a knit along going on for my serious sock pattern, and that is going through December 21st. It's going great. You should join because it's a fun sock, and I would love to see more colors and some holiday colors or sparkle. I think that would be really cool in that pattern. The prize for that is the Bridget sock colorwork pattern that's been put out by Natalie of Remembrance's Pottery, and I can show you that right now, because that is one of my works in progress. I don't have any finished objects. I have two works in progress, and this one I casted on just a few days ago, and I love it. So there we go. I told you last time I wanted some sparkle in my life, so I had a red sparkly yarn. This yarn is, I think it's called Devil's Courthouse Fire by EchoView Fiber Mill. Here's one. Yeah, the Devil's Courthouse Fire. And it is 95% merino and 5% of the sparkle. It just says metallic. And the white one is something I hadn't stashed, and it's also sparkly. But I love this pattern. I love how instead of just chopping off the pattern on the back, she continued the feathers, or the flowers out into the sole of the sock. So first, let me tell you, as far as the knit along, the serious sock knit along, that will end on December 21st, and the prize has been donated by Natalie, and it's a copy of her pattern for another colorwork sock, which if you're knitting the serious, you must really like colorwork anyway, so this would be a good prize. As soon as I saw this, I knew I wanted to cast it on, but I had all these other things that I was feeling weighted down by that I needed to get those off my plate first. So I was really excited when I decided, okay, that's enough, I'm gonna cast these on. They're designed as a cuff down sock, and I like doing toe up. I just feel like I get more chance to try it on and make sure it fits my foot better, and I like the feeling of starting with the toe and finishing with the cuff. I don't know what that's about, but I enjoy it. So I started what I had to do, because there are a lot of charts, well, not a lot of charts, there's two big charts, and the sock begins, she does cuff down, kind of, well, it's rotated from center. And if you get the pattern, it's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give too much away, but if you get the pattern, you'll see what I mean. If you're knitting on two needles, you're not knitting the front of the sock and the back of the sock. It's shifted from cuff down. So to go toe up, I had to start kind of about a third of the way into the chart, as well as taking both charts and flipping them upside down. Once I looked at it, it made total sense. It's not a hard pattern at all. If you like color work and you like socks, it's an amazing pattern. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's really easy to follow. But just to do it toe up, I had to switch things around. And I'll put those notes in my Ravelry page if you're interested in doing it toe up. The other thing that I like is that it's not... Some color work patterns, it's very geometric. And so it's 3 of this color, 2 of that, 3 of this, 2 of that. And you know that's how it goes for the whole row. And then you do the next row and it's 1 of this, 6 of that. One, you know, and you can kind of count. And it's meditative, which is really nice. This changes up a bunch because it's not extremely repetitive, right? So you've got this part of the flower and then you've got these little dots and then you've got a new flower. And so it takes some concentration, but I've found myself really enjoying sitting there and figuring out which color comes next and seeing if I can see how the flower is going to build. So anyway, I think they're really beautiful. I believe she's also having a knit along. So check out her Instagram page, which is Remembrances Pottery, and check her out on Ravelry too. Beautiful socks. I think it's the first sock pattern she's published. And I know that she's getting ready to publish another one on the winter solstice on the 21st. I can't remember the name of it, but it's gorgeous, very detailed, a beautiful sock picture. It's like artwork on a sock. So keep your eyes out for that one. Your eyes open. Don't take your eyes out, please. Just keep them open for that one. All right, so let me tell you about a couple of the giveaways, and then we'll go on to the next project. The only other project I have. I have been gifted 2 beautiful patterns as well as a gift box, and I thought it would be really nice to have a big giveaway for the holidays that you guys can treat yourselves to something. So the first is the Penny Pearls sweater pattern by Vicky, who's de Vixta, and she has created, I think it's her second sweater, and it's really pretty. A simple pattern, but because of how she's done the purling, it creates a really lovely texture and visual technique. So that is the first one. Thank you, Vicky. And the second one is a crochet pattern, and I have not had crochet on here before, so I'm excited for those of you who also crochet who might be interested in this. And it's called Winter is Coming, and it's by Catherine, who is Crafternoon Treats. And if you don't know her, she also has a podcast and does a lot of crocheting and has a beautiful Instagram page. So there are both of those patterns. Thank you very much, ladies, for donating those. There's also some goodies inside this box, and I'm not opening it. But I think there's at least soap in there, if not, and some other goodies. Maria Shpakova of Dillfield. You all know how much I absolutely love her products. She has skincare and beauty products that she creates by hand. And I think they're absolutely amazing. And I love the smell and the feel and how they make you feel. So she asked if she could send me a little gift box and send one for you guys. I haven't opened mine because I've put it under our tree and I'm going to open it solstice morning. So I don't want to open this one because I don't want to know what's in there. So this is a treat for one of you. If you check out her Instagram feed, Dillfield, you will see all of the lovely things that she's been creating for holiday presents, and there are probably some of those in here. This one I'm going to have to limit to the States because it will be easier to ship this out and get it to you so you can open it for part of your holidays. If it's a little late, it'll be a late holiday gift, but hopefully we'll get it to you on time. The patterns can be to anywhere in the world. So if you would like to win one of these amazing things, if you will go to my Ravelry page and tell me the first music you ever remember purchasing. It could be your first vinyl, your first tape, your first CD, whatever it is. I guess it all depends on how old you are, because we've gone from vinyl to, online music pretty much in my lifetime. So I remember when I was really little, we were still living in Miami, and I remember maybe being 7 or 8 and buying from my mom because I wanted to have the tape in my room so I could listen to it more. So I offered her, I don't even remember what it was in trade. It was probably like 50 cents. But I offered to buy the tape off of her, and it was the Carpenters. And I absolutely loved listening to the Carpenters. And if any of you guys remember them, I think that the lead singer had already passed away by the time I got that CD. But I really loved her voice. It was so low, and though I really wanted to have a very high singing voice when I was little, I used to sing. I had a low voice, and so I liked that I could sing some of her songs. And then I remember my first CD was when I was 16, and I had been working on the movie The Last of the Mohicans. I did war paint and body paint for them during that summer when I was out of school. I had no experience at all, except that I met the woman who was hiring for the makeup department, and she was Italian, and she liked my last name, and we just kind of hit it off. And I think I told you guys about this in a much earlier episode, but I saved as much money as I could from that summer, and I bought myself a word processor, a little electric typewriter, and a couple of CDs. And I remember one of them was Seal. It was, I think, his first big CD. Anyway, tell me about your first music purchase in the Ravelry group. I will have it listed under winter giveaways. And what I'll do is I will pick first, second, and third, and you can choose. The first person will pick the first thing that they want, and then the second will pick from the next two, and the third person will get the remaining things. So thank you all so much. I hope these bring you a little bit of joy to your days, and that you get a chance to enjoy some knitting and some lovely body care. All right, so I'm going to move on to my my only other work in progress, and it's kind of stalled for the moment. You'll see why. So this is the cloak. I have really been speeding along on this. I've been doing some measuring and some figuring. It's hard to show you everything. But this is, let's see if I can get the front. This is the front. That's a little lifeline. I did some shoulder shaping and then put in a lifeline to make sure that it was the right size as how I wanted it to fall before I continued on. And what I have left is one more 24 row repeat of the cable, and then I can start with the color work. I've decided I am going to put it in. It's going to be on me pretty long, and one thing that I really like about this pattern, one thing that I really like about it is there's a cast on number, and from there you kind of build it to fit your body. So I've written down all the places where you take measurements, and it's not a lot, but you measure certain spots to make sure that it fits you the right way, and then you do your knitting from there. So I should be able to have this for children through adults of any size, which is awesome. This is Harrisville Design yarn. It's their watershed yarn in their barn door colorway. It's a beautiful red, a nice deep red. And I really like it. I've been fully enjoying knitting on this, but I've been putting pressure on myself because I know there's a lot more knitting to be done. I have to steek, and then I need to add the hood, and I need to do a lot more to it before it's even ready for testing. And then the testers need their time, and the editor needs their time, and then there needs to be pictures. And I have this vision in my head of what I want it to look like, the whole final project, not just the knitting, but But the pictures in the forest with many people wearing cloaks, this vision of what I saw before the design really ever came about. So I was talking to Mars, Hey Brown Berry, and telling her that I'm stressing myself out about it because with all the things that need to get done, by the time it's ready to release and people start knitting it, when they're done, it's going to be April or May and they're not going to want to wear it. So we were talking about, letting go of the stress, knitting it at a pace that's comfortable and happy for me, and then maybe not really releasing it till next fall, maybe even doing a package with maybe there's some mittens and some socks or some other things that go with it that have a similar theme. So I basically just said, you know what, that's a good idea. I need to just chill out and not stress myself out to get this project done on time. No sooner had I said that than my needle broke. So you can see the cable came right out from the needle. With the way I hold them, with the way I hold the needle usually comes right here and then the cable starts. And so there's always a lot of pressure as I'm knitting on that point between the cable and needles. And I was actually really surprised that it hadn't broken yet because there's a lot of weight here. And this is a 60-inch cable. So I'm constantly moving the whole thing around as I knit. And I thought, wow, I need to write to them and let them know how strong these cables are. And they're great. And with all the pulling I've done, I'm surprised it only broke now. But I thought it was pretty funny that I'd made the decision I was going to relax a little bit and then the cable broke. Like, that's it. You are definite. You're not allowed to knit anymore. You're just going to take a break. So yeah, I know that this would be published. Absolutely. I'm not sure the timeline on it. As soon as I'm ready for testers, I will let you know. But I don't know if I'm going to push it and try and get it out before the end of winter so people can start knitting it because I don't imagine it will be as big of a thing. If it's released in July or something, people aren't going to be as excited about knitting it if it's hot weather. And I know that's something designers have to think about a lot and probably why a lot of patterns come out about now or a little earlier in the fall because that's when people want to pick up their knitting again and they want to start thinking about winter knits. So that's where I am with this. I think it's going to be awesome. I've already tried it on to see how it sits on the shoulders and about how far it will fall, and I really like it. So I'm excited to share that with you as it comes along. I have 2 other things to tell you about, and then I think that's it. The first thing is an acquisition. Here it is. I know I have talked about Pichinku yarns before. They're a yarn company out of Cusco, Peru. And I met Dana, who started Pichinku virtually a couple years back when she had started a Kickstarter. She stepped into the role of being able to help encourage women in this community in being artists and digging back into their roots with natural dyes and colors and weavings. And she started Pichinku Yarns. And you can see her on Instagram as Pichinku and the beautiful website with all the colors. I love watching her Instagram stories and her Instagram pictures because it shows them out in the mountains gathering, flowers off of trees and then making these amazing colors out of them. And just sometimes the clothing that the ladies are wearing is so beautifully made. So it's a treat to see all of that on Instagram. But a while back, she had posted that a couple of the women who she works with are also master weavers and was taking a small amount of orders for some weavings. And I got in touch with her immediately and told her that I really, really wanted one because I knew at that time we were about to start rehabbing this place and I wanted something to hang on the walls. And this is what they sent me. It is all naturally dyed, hand woven. And if you see up here, there's 2 little chickens. Isn't that amazing? She had asked what colors I wanted, gave me some samples of different types of design ideas, and I told her mainly, geometric shapes. and they snuck in a couple little chickens for the Ninja chickens. So, but look at these colors. Look at that. And one thing I did not realize is that weaving can be reversible. I don't know why, like I'm not a weaver. I just thought that the main picture comes out on the front and the back looks, I guess I assumed that it would look like the backside of color work. And somehow she did it so that it's completely reversible. And now I don't know which side to hang up on the wall. And another thing that's absolutely stunning is look at the border. Isn't that amazing? Somehow she wove the colors as she was weaving. I'm assuming she used the final colors to weave in this gorgeous border. So absolutely stunning. Santusa is the name of the woman who did the weaving. So thank you so much, Santusa, and thank you, Dana, for being a part of that community and helping them to display their art and live a life that is fulfilling to them. Okay, I think that is almost it. The only other thing I wanted to tell you about is that I am doing a collaboration with Fiber Nymph Dyeworks. She contacted me a couple of weeks ago that she is doing a club that I think has already filled up. If it's not, you should check it out if you're interested. It's called Tea for Two. And in December, February, and April, she's releasing a new colorway of her self-striping yarn, along with a tee that goes along with it. So the yarn is inspired by the colors of the tea, and she asked if I would like to create one. So for her February colorway, there will be a tea blend of mine. And she has offered to send a skein of the yarn, and I'll put it with the tea, and that way one of you guys will be able to get that February colorway also. So that's going to be a few months off, but it'll be something fun to look forward to because I don't know how many or if there are any spots left in the club, so it'll be a little special giveaway for here as part of the collaboration. And I think that's it. I'm going to try and put some video at the end for you guys to see what we've been up to the last month and a half in rehabbing this place. And then when it's finally all finished and we've done all the rest of the painting and put in the windows and finished up the kitchen and all of that stuff, I'll take some more pictures and put that in for you. Thank you so much. I hope you've all been doing amazingly well. If you are in the States, I hope you've had a lovely Thanksgiving and time with family and friends that you enjoyed. I will see you guys again in mid-December. Have an amazing couple of weeks. Love you guys. Bye. So this is a little cabin that my husband and I put up in about 3 weeks, 15 years ago. No, 12 years ago when we wanted to move out onto this property. It was just a bunch of mud and there was no housing here. So we helped a friend take down her house and used a bunch of scrap to put the cabin up. It had no water, no electricity, no bathroom, no shower. It was just something for us to get out on the land. We have added a little bit to it here and there, but it's still very rustic. And our neighbors just moved out a little while ago. So it's going to become my studio. So I'm going to get started today. I'm going to take down all the shelving so that I can plane it, smooth it out, and put a coat of polyurethane or something on it so it'll be easier to clean. There's a bunch upstairs too. We're going to put a ceiling on this because it's just rough wood and all the dirt from upstairs falls through. We are going to put down flooring. This was just plywood that we put down and painted, so we're going to put down a nice flooring. We're going to get rid of this old wood heater and put in a heating unit that we can have running all the time so that I don't have to come out here at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock and start a fire and wait 3 or 4 hours until the place is warm. We did add water before our last friends moved into the cabin.
because there was no running water or heat. So now we have an on-demand water heater, which is great, but you can see we had to retrofit everything, all the lines to get it to run to the sink. So all this stuff's gonna come out, and I'm gonna clean it up, paint it, make it easier to use. Some of the windows are gonna have to come out and be replaced because they've been cracked. And then the walls will be painted. This was old wood flooring that we got after the last big hurricane came through and flooded a warehouse, and all the flooring got wet, so they were selling it for really cheap. Climbing the ladder upstairs. This area, again, we're gonna take all the stuff off the walls, paint it. I think I'm gonna have a nice big area rug here. And then around this window, we're gonna replace this window, and I'm gonna put in big bookshelves and a window seat so you can see out over the gardens. So upstairs is probably gonna be more of a sitting area. I'll have my spinning wheel, books, a place where everybody can come and chill out. It will be a quiet zone. And then downstairs will be the work zone. So let's get started.